if I had 30 pounds of body fat to lose in the next 90 days, I'm talking 90 days from today, you want to have 30 less pounds of fat on you, not water weight, not muscle mass, around your belly button, body fat reduction, 90 days from this date. Here's exactly what I would do. Okay, and this is important. As this is someone who's lost 61 pounds in 5 months, helped hundreds of other people get in amazing shape, other men who have tried to lose weight, this is my exact way that I would do it. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. In this video, there's 3 core components, 3 main parts. The last piece is the most important, okay? So make sure that you stay until then because it's the most important piece of this whole thing. So the first thing we have to understand, right, is what is our goal? We want to reduce our body fat by 30 pounds. First thing we need to do, what is body fat? Okay, body fat is when you eat more calories than you burn and it adds extra tissue. So we have to start out, what are the numbers we have to approach? We want our waistline to reduce by about 6 inches. About every 5 pounds of fat, 1 inch off your waistline, okay? So we want to reduce our waistline by about 6 inches, and then we have to make sure that the weight we're losing is body fat. We don't want to do GLP-1, Ozempic. It's like there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't want to lose muscle mass, okay? You don't want to cut weight like a UFC fighter. You want to lose body fat. So you have to have the right training program, the right foods you're eating. You have to make sure it's something you can stick with, okay? So the first thing we have to solve is our workouts, okay? The first core component is training. The training, what are you doing, right? If you don't work out, you don't have muscle mass, you can lose weight. But again, that's why people on Ozempic, GLP-1 lose up to 40% of their muscle mass when they lose weight. Up to 40% of the weight they lose on the GLP-1 drugs is muscle mass. Not because there's anything wrong with the GLP-1 drugs, but because they're not training properly. So the training program that I'm gonna give you, if I had to lose 30 pounds of body fat, would be 3 days per week, okay? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, a day of rest in between. Each day, you would hit each muscle group 1 to 2 sets, okay? 1 set of shoulders, 1 set of biceps, 1 set of triceps, 1 set of quads, 1 set of hamstrings, 1 set of chest, like 1 or 2 sets of every muscle group, okay? Just do like 10 to 12 reps. Make sure you get a good set or 2 each exercise. And then you would do that 3 days per week. You'd hit each muscle 3 to 6 sets per week. And outside of the gym, what you would do is you would walk 14,000 steps per day, 12 to 14,000 steps per day. That would be your goal. Well, how am I going to track it? You're going to have something like an Apple Watch, a Fitbit. You're going to link it up with your Apple Health app, and then you're going to make sure that you can track how many steps you're hitting each day. How you can hit your steps each day. Every time you park farther away, you're going to make sure, or every time you go somewhere, you're going to park farther away. If you have an apartment, you can have something like a walking pad right here that I have, where you can get your steps in easily. Okay, so you got to make it easy to get your steps in. 3 workouts a week, full body, 12 to 14 plus thousand steps per day. Every 1,000 steps is about 50 calories, right? So 14,000 steps, okay? 14 times 5. Okay, is about 700 extra calories per day. In addition to the calories you're already burning, that's how you get this process going. Training, done. Next is nutrition, okay? You have to work out, but again, if you work out super hard and you have a great training program, you follow that training program I just described, but you're not eating the correct foods, doesn't matter. You can't out-train Big Macs and fries and Cokes. Okay, so how is our nutrition gonna reflect our goals, which is to lose 30 pounds of body fat and 6 inches off your waist to make sure it's body fat? First is calories. So you're gonna have to stay within a certain calorie range, you're gonna have to hit a certain protein goal range, and then you're gonna have to make sure just the foods that you're eating make it easy to hit those numbers. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna have to multiply your goal body weight. If you wanna be 150 pounds, multiply 150 by 12, which is I think 1,700. So multiply your goal body weight by 12, that's the limit of your calories, okay? And then after that, your protein goal is gonna be your goal body weight times about 0.85. You don't need to go like 1 gram per pound of body weight, you're welcome to. I just go about 0.85. So I'm about 65 pounds. I'll eat like 150 plus grams of protein per day. You do more than 150 grams, like you're gonna be fine. It's not gonna be the end of the world. So calories, protein goal, carbs and fats wise, I always say don't stress about carbs and fats. I always say like, stay within your calories, hit your protein. Fat-wise, if you want to set a goal, maybe about 30% of your calories are fat. So for me, I have about 60 to 70 grams of healthy fats per day, and then the rest will just be healthy carbohydrates, okay? So calories, protein, calorie goal, protein goal. What foods do I eat? You want to stick to single ingredient whole foods, okay? Lean meats, fruits, veggies, non-fat dairy, eggs, protein shakes, cottage cheese, apples, oranges, bananas, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, rice, quinoa, like traditional healthy foods. If you keep your foods that, avocados, nuts, like healthy fats, fish, okay, that's what you're gonna do. So nutritionally, calories, protein, what foods do you eat? Supplement-wise, maybe just take a multivitamin. Like that's literally all I'd recommend to you, especially just in this video. And then outside of that, you wanna make sure that you're logging your food that you eat, okay? So buy a cheap food scale on Amazon, and then each day, there's an app that I use called Fat Secret. It's a green keyhole. You're gonna track everything you put in your mouth, and you're gonna weigh it out, okay? It's gonna teach you more than any book you could ever read on nutrition. All right, and then you're gonna track your food and you're gonna stay within that calorie range, you're gonna hit that protein goal, you're gonna make sure you're having a good mix of healthy carbs, healthy fats, lean, high quality, single ingredient food protein sources, and then you're gonna take a multivitamin every single day, okay? Then after that, how much water do I drink? Like just drink water. Don't drink soda, like just every time you eat, drink water. That's enough. All right, training done, nutrition done, accountability. This is the most important part, okay? So what I always say in terms of accountability, the first piece with accountability is you have to make sure the program you're following is something that you can stick with, right? The program that I just outlined it's pretty easy to program to stick with. If you did that, you would get really good results. If you're trying to lose 30 pounds of fat, like you would get good results with that program. The reason that a lot of people might not be able to do that is because they don't have anybody to hold them accountable, and they don't have people in their life, a community, to hold them accountable as well. And this is the whole point of why I run the program that I do, right? That system that I just outlined, I customize, I do this, and I alter it, and I design it for every single one of my clients, okay? Because accountability-wise, there's self-accountability, there's coach accountability, and then there's group accountability. My program, you get all three. I hold you accountable. I have a whole community of other people just like you to hold you accountable, other men trying to do the same thing, trying to lose weight, and then I teach you to hold yourself accountable by the habits that we implement in the program, okay? So that's kind of how it works. If you'd like all the stuff that I just outlined done for you, supplement recommendations, sleep guide, health optimization, mindset, productivity, everything I just described, the same system that I personally use to lose 61 pounds, and the same system that's literally helped over 100 other people, other men, people in your exact spot, do the same exact thing that you're trying to do. If you would like that, or you'd like to at least learn more, okay, you can apply to work with me below, or follow me on Instagram and ask me questions. Okay, if you watch this video and you're like, Riley, I'm gonna do this, okay? I don't need you, but I wanna do this on my own. Message me with questions, okay? I'm sure there's probably some question you have. Message me directly, okay? Don't just random ChatGPT doom scroll. Shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll help you, okay? And if you just want my help directly, click the link and let's go, all right? Let's get it.